moving on, got A&M on Wednesday, and they're coming off a huge win over Kansas State. Played extremely well against Kansas State. They've really played well in their last 2 games. They had a 13-point lead at half at Florida. They didn't play real well against Missouri before that, and they've changed a few things, and they're playing much better, playing at a very high level. So, be another tough SEC road game for us, and we've got to learn our lessons from this last game and move forward and get ready to go to A&M. I don't know. I'm ready to worry about A&M.
Javonte is a true freshman to have the guts he has to take those shots.
Yeah, he's got a good way about him. He's done that all year for us. He's made big shots. He made big shots against Florida State. He had a good first half. The bigger against Houston, the bigger the game, the bigger the moment, the better he plays. That's a tremendous quality and tremendous trait to have, and we really trust him. It's good. We haven't been able to really, one thing you've got to do on the road is you've got to overwhelm the other team with your spirit and how you play and the way you attack and go after people. We haven't been able to do that. It's part of the reason the games have been a little bit different is we've tried to play different ways according to what the other teams do. We haven't necessarily, outside of Ole Miss, really, we haven't been able to just impose our will on the road, which is what you need to do. You got to overwhelm them with your collective spirit, your collective will. And we haven't been able to do that on the road, and we've got to get back to doing that.
Backcourt of Starks and Flagg and Mitchell, what issues?
Well, Mitchell's a heck of a player. Starks is having a great year, and Mitchell just went for 22 in the second half against Kansas State. I believe he hit 7 threes against Florida. And so he's playing at a high level. He's somebody we saw him play against Marlin a couple times in junior college. He's a transfer from Baylor, so he is a very good player. He's playing with a lot of confidence right now. He's got a hot hand, and we're going to certainly need to do a very good job on him. Well, no, we don't want to keep pressing our luck on that sort of thing. So we certainly don't want to be down big and have to rally. But I do like our guys that we don't give up and we kind of stay in there and hang in there. We're tough out for the most part, and I like that part. But we need to put ourselves in better positions and play better throughout the course of the game. So we're not having to stage a furious rally or pull a rabbit out of the hat.
Are you able to use a game like that as kind of a reference point moving on in the season when games are going to get tougher and more important, then you fall behind and kind of point to that as an example?
Yeah, you got to be careful with that. If you use it too much of a reference point, you'll relax a little bit. So you don't really want to harp on all that. It's good fodder for you guys to talk about, but doesn't really affect a whole lot with what we're doing. I'm more worried about staying out of that position, being 14 down with 2.5 minutes left. I hadn't even watched the last. I cut the film off at 3 minutes. I haven't watched the last part because I didn't want that to taint how I felt about the game. So I've only watched the first 37 minutes, and I didn't particularly care for a lot of the things I saw in the first 37 minutes. So, that's the part I tend to focus on, and I don't think. I think it can be used, but I think sometimes that's a little bit of a crutch too, and you can relax a little bit.
In the second half, the 17 minutes, we only had 4 field goals. More you, more them?
A little bit of both. They did a great job. They had a great plan. They're tough. They're physical. They put their chest on you, and we just didn't get enough paint touches. We missed some shots around the rim that we normally make. We're top 15 in the country in shooting percentage at the rim. And I think we're 12th, or we were 12th last week. We just missed some things. We were off balance. We were a little bit off kilter that we would normally make, and that put us behind. That put us behind a little bit. But I thought it was a combination of both. I think we had some self-inflicted wounds, but I think Missouri had a very, very good game plan, did a very, very good job, and they played very desperate. They played very hungry, and they played very, very well.
Did they almost try to intimidate you early? Because they got the two technicals.
I don't know. I'm glad they got the technicals, or we wouldn't have gone to overtime. So, you know, I don't know about that. I think they were. I mean, I think that just shows how excited they were to play, how hungry they were to play, how fired up they were to play us. I think that was more of a indication of their emotion and how much they would put into the game with their preparation.
Do you expect to see more of that now that you guys are on the time to run your 16-0 SEC play? You can get a bit more target on your back?
I mean, probably. I mean, we're not like some traditional blue blood, you know, like. So I don't know. You know, when we were at VCU and we were kind of the kings of the A10, so to speak, just from years and years of winning, long before I got there. You know, everywhere we went, they were handing out T-shirts or foam thing. You know, they always had some sort of be their biggest crowd of the year wherever we went. And they'd have it. Same when Dayton was in the league too. Dayton was the same way. You know, it's not like that. It's not like we're. You know, I don't think people are just like overly excited when they see us coming. That that's just going to like get people riled up. But I do think what happens is you've got teams that want to make a stand. And you've got a level of desperation, a level of hunger, and you've got a team that's got good numbers and a team that could really kind of turn your season around. So I think the teams get a little more excited probably than the fans and all the other periphery stuff. I don't think LSU moves the needle a whole lot with the fans, but I do think because of our numbers and that we are ranked and that sort of thing, there's a chance to win a ranked game at home. I think that gets the team and the players a little bit more on edge, a little hungrier. And I think, for teams that want to turn their season around or need a marquee win to kind of push them over the hump, I certainly think you're in a position where, where you'll get a little bit more pop from some of those guys.
This summer, a lot of the A&M players are talking about how different their system is. What have you seen from them in terms of changes?
Well, there's a lot more. The two bigs they got transfer, and they got two transfers. One was a traditional transfer, one's a grad transfer from Tennessee State. Those guys block a lot of shots. They run they don't run their ball screen continuity as much. They run a little bit more just spread ball screen, spread it out, let Starks make a play, and let Mitchell make a play off a ball screen. They've changed the way, Flag's playing some at the 4 now. He's traditionally been a 3. So they're playing a little bit more wide open, I would say, offensively, and their bigs do a good job blocking shots, and then they turn those into quick offense. Starks is just a jet with the ball, very, very quick with the ball, very, very strong with the ball.
National rankings this time of year, you may not think they mean a lot, I'm not sure, but LSU hasn't been in the rankings a whole lot. To move up to 19 and to stay in there, is that important?
It's good for fans. It's good for hopefully for our home crowds and stuff like that. But it doesn't change who we are. Whether you got a number beside you or not, doesn't change who you are and what you got to do every day. If anything, it puts a little more focus on you, especially when you go on the road, like we were talking about with other teams trying to change the course of their season. So we've just got to go about what we do and do what we do at a high level.
What do you think the key is to getting
Darius going to be in good shape. You mark my words, he's going to break out here. I'm pretty good at predictions, right?
Yeah.
Just remember I told you that. You can ask me about that again next week when one of these next 2 games he busts out. He's in good shape. I thought he did a great job in this last game. I know he fouled out in a short amount of time, but we really did a study before the last game on where his fouls came from. We corrected that. He didn't foul on where he got a majority of his fouls beforehand in SEC play. He didn't foul that way. He picked up an offensive foul on an illegal screen that was, he had one offensive foul on that. He had another foul after he missed a shot and tried to get in there and get a rebound when he should have just gotten back in transition D. So he had a couple preventable fouls, and I think he had his first shot, went in and out again, and but he brings so much more to us than just the shooting. I know everybody gets caught up in the shooting, and he's a very good shooter, and you know, he hasn't necessarily shown that so far in games, but he is as we move forward. I've got zero doubts about that. But he brings so much. He's got such a good court sense. He's got a knack for the ball, offensive rebounding. He's had some huge offensive rebounds for us, some critical offensive. He had a critical one at Missouri. We were down 5 and got an offensive rebound, whipped it to the corner for Trey for a corner 3 in front of Missouri's bench. He does a lot of those things, and so I want him to focus on those things and do great at those things, and then the offense is going to come. But he's going to have some big games for us. There's zero doubt in my mind.
Coach, Will Devontae was talking about how when he got some of these rebounds, he looked out and he saw that he was going to get the ball to Skyler. Skyler pulled the shots at the end of the game. Was there a calming effect having a veteran like that on the floor to be able to lead him?
Oh, Sky was awesome. You guys know how much I love him and how I feel about him. But he was awesome throughout the whole game at Missouri. He had a calming influence. He had some good ideas. A lot of times when they bring ideas to me in the game, I just in one ear out the other, and we just move on. They're not very good, in my opinion. But he had 3 or 4 really good ones in this game, and I thought he played tremendously well. And I thought his poise and calm, helped us stay together. I think we're getting there. I mean, I think we've got a good way about us. I like where we are. I think Skyler, Marshall brings a lot to us, too, with the perspective. Marshall's been here the same amount of time Skyler has, and he has a lot of perspective. But we don't talk a whole lot about the past. We talk about moving forward. And, I feel like, I like where we are. I like where we are, and I really like where we're going. But, for us to be able to pull some wins out like we've pulled out, we got a little toughness, we got a little fiber to us. We got some good. We got the makings of some good stuff, and that's not just individually. That's as a program. So I feel very good about where we are, and I feel great about where we're heading. But Skyler's had a huge part of that. Tremont being here last year has had a huge part, and then these other guys have filled in. And one thing that's really helped is, I know we've had some other, but I mean, these freshmen love being here at LSU. They love playing for LSU. Cody was on the plane with us after the game. Our guys are grabbing the mic from the flight attendant, yelling, "Go Tiger!" I mean, they enjoy it. They love being here. They love the culture down here. They love the people down here, and that really helps. They're all in, and it helps because of Javonte, and Javonte's done a great job of getting all those guys on the same page and explaining to them how important LSU is to Louisiana and to the city. And so I think that's been a big help for us.
You talked a little bit about it. Skyler described this team so far as just special. Do you feel that same way that the camaraderie on this team just within the organization?
Well, we're connected. I know y'all get sick of me saying that, but we are, and you've got, when you're connected and you compete hard and you handle the details, we got to compete a little bit harder sustain it for a little bit longer periods of time. We've got to be a little bit better with the details. We gave up 2 free throw offensive rebounds the other night. We'd given up 2 all year, and we gave up 2 the other night that led to 5 points. We'd been kicking ourselves. We'd lost that game, and we gave up 5 points on free throw offensive rebounds. So we got to handle the details a little bit better. But we've got a good group, and they all get along very well. They all hang out together, and we have a good way about us. We got great people. We got great people. They're very good players, but we got great people. We got some different personalities that that make things fun and keep things lively and make things work well.
I know you didn't watch the last 3 minutes, but how cool is it for Skyler to have that moment? I know it was a team effort and everything, but not many players get to do.
Yeah, I mean he's earned everything. He deserves everything that he gets. He deserves. I mean, you guys have no idea how hard of a worker. He's the best. He's the best, and You've heard me say this always. You never bet against consistent behavior in anything you do in life. And he's one of the most consistent human beings I've ever been around. I tell all our other guys, I said, look, I know y'all all want to play in the NBA and all that sort of thing. If you want to do that, you need to follow Skylar Mays around for a day. Now, you ain't got to do the biology homework like he's doing. You can worry about your other stuff while he's doing all his equations and whatever else goes into biology and converting everything to moles for chemistry and all that stuff. You can go do something else then. But if you want to see regiment and he's just phenomenal, and he earns everything, absolutely everything that he gets, and he wants to win so bad. And he's just, from the day we got here, there ain't one thing we've asked him to do that he hadn't done. And he's unbelievable.
You just said it a second ago that he learned the value or the true meaning behind the hard day's work when you got here. How much is that consistency you're talking about, how much is that developed since you got here?
I don't know. I think he had a lot of it. I just think you got to, people are always going to do what they're asked to do, and I think he had a lot of it from his parents and his upbringing, and he wants to be a great player, and he found probably some kindred spirits with me and Hire, and he's just done a phenomenal job. But he knows he knows. I tell him all the time, you got to know what good looks like. He knows what good looks like. He knows what good day's work looks like. He knows what good looks like, and he's, oh man, I don't even want to think about having to coach a game without him. Luckily, I got a little bit more time. But, he's the heartbeat. He's the best. He's the best. So it's cool to see him have that moment, especially as consistent as he's been for us all year. He's been great. What do you mean?
That you didn't go back and watch it, but the scoring night.
We've had some escapes. I've been a part of some dramatic endings, but I don't know if I've ever seen a team rally like that. In terms of Skylar scoring that, no, I hadn't seen that. What, Reggie Miller in the playoffs in the 90s? About the last time you saw something like that. No, I hadn't seen anything like that. But like we said, Javante found him, and we had some other guys, get some deflections and some traps, and it's just one of those deals where everything kind of came together, and we hadn't made a lot of shots all game. I guess we were saving them for the end. Better late than never. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Anything else? What's the team learned from the road games you guys got so far this year, and what do you look for tomorrow?
Winning on the road's hard. It's the hardest thing to do in college basketball is to win on the road in conference play. And so it's going to be another really, really tough test at A&M. I know everybody, people have no idea how difficult it is to win in college basketball on the road. There were 2 teams in our league that won on the road last week. That was it. Tennessee at Vanderbilt and us at Missouri. That's it. That's the list of the road wins in the SEC last week. So, it doesn't matter who. Everybody's got good players. Everybody's got good players. Texas A&M's got a great team. Great team. And Billy Kennedy's he's been to 2 Sweet 16s in 3 years. And so, it is extremely, extremely difficult to win on the road in any league, especially a really good league like the SEC. So, we're going to have to play better. We're going to have to impose our will. We're going to have to be more aggressive. We're going to have to sustain what we do for longer periods of time. But, it's difficult. Going into, as of today, here's something for y'all. There's only 4 teams in a Power 6 conference that are undefeated in league play. Did y'all know that? Washington in the Pac-12, Villanova in the Big East, Tennessee, and LSU. That's the list. That's it. That's it. So if it was easy to win on the road, there'd be a lot more teams on that list. And we've won 3 of our 6 are on the road. And so, it's very, 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 very difficult to do, and we've got to be better, or it's going to turn on us here before long. We've got 2 overtime wins on the road, and it's going to turn on us here before long. And so we've got to get better, and that's what That's what we're focused on. But I am proud of what we've done. I mean, it's hard. I mean, sitting in here, I said this morning I was on a radio show, but shoot, a month ago, y'all were all saying y'all hadn't won a road game in a year. And now we're worried about beating Missouri. I mean, come on. Let's get real. Although we hadn't won a road game in a year was a little overblown. We didn't play a road game in 8 of those months. That made it nice for y'all's little – that was a nice little tagline for all y'all to get your dramatic effect. But that was a little bit overblown, a lot overblown. But huh?
What we do.
I'm just pointing out the facts. Just pointing out the facts. You know, we didn't play 8 of those months. There was no road game to be played, and in 2 of the other months there was only 1 road game to be played. But don't let that get in the way. But it's hard. You know, I mean, it's hard to do, and so you know, there's a reason that I tell our guys all the time: you separate yourself on the road. And I told him I shouldn't have said this before the Missouri game. I said defense and rebounding, travel, and you separate yourself on the road. I gave him a whole big spiel. I thought I did a great job on it. But it obviously didn't go over very well. But my point was our offense is gonna bog down at some point, and it's most likely going to be on the road. And sure enough, it bogged down for 38 minutes at Missouri. And so what we were going to do to save ourselves, and our 1-3-1 saved us. Our rebounding, we were even on the glass. But we got to be better. We got to be better. Starting on Wednesday night.
How do you eliminate Naz's foul problems? I mean, it seems like he's doing the best he can, staying straight up on his level.
Yeah, I think he's. You know, we've looked at all his fouls as well, and I think we've got a good plan. In fact, the reason I was watching film with him one-on-one, that's why Kent was trying to hunt me down. We were in there for a while, and part of it was on some fouls and some different things I wanted to show him with some balance. But I think he'll be fine. I mean, you know, we're asking him to. Part of it is you're asking him to guard. He's guarding on the perimeter a lot. He's got a lot of different things he's got to do defense-wise. But Naz has been. I mean, he's been phenomenal for us all year. He leads us in charges taken. I mean, he drew 9 for 9 from the free throw line the other night. Got a couple offensive rebounds going for foul. I mean, got a couple fouls going for offensive rebounds. So he's been great. But you know, we've certainly have looked at him and Days as fouls. In particular, a little bit with Cavell, but those two in particular, and I think there's some correctable things in there we can get right.